Hi, welcome. Today we're talking to Lubin Sherman, who wrote a truly fabulous book called The Essentials of Fabulous. Ellen, thanks very much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
And today's cocktail is also fabulous. It is a non-alcoholic cocktail called a pomegranate mojito. So we're just going to mix this together. Let's see what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to crush the mint. Yep. Pop it in the glass.
I'm very adept at this because I'm a very heavy drinker.
No, I know you don't at all, right?
I had about 4 vodkas before I came here.
No, you didn't, you fibber.
And then I'm going to take the pomegranate.
Okay, pomegranate in there.
Yes.
That's pretty with the mint and the pomegranate.
I made a little mistake here.
That's all right.
And then...
We're just sloshing. And that's the Perrier.
Yes, Perrier. Very good drink. Very good drink.
Yeah.
Very high quality. And then...
Ellen used to do branding for Perrier.
Yes. Would you like to squeeze your own?
Indeed,
lime?
I will. This is a massive wedge. I love lime. It's really... It says holidays and Caribbean
Oh, I forgot to crush.
beaches. That's all
I
right.
forgot to crush. Let me crush yours.
Oh, I dropped mine in.
Okay.
Tart. Tart and lovely. Ready?
I love the fact you're licking your fingers. Very elegant.
Chin chin. Chin chin.
It's your health.
Thank you. And to yours.
Ooh, it's yummy.
Yeah, that's good.
Very
Oh, that's a good drink.
I'm totally relaxed now.
If you feel like an escape, that's a good drink. Okay, so that's our cocktail. Now, I came across this book. I knew of it for a while. And then I thought that it could be good for an interview. What I didn't realize is how completely fabulous it really is what you say. And I have been carrying it with me because what I find it does is it helps me set my intention for the day to not just have an ordinary day, but to have a fabulous day. So tell us a little bit about how you came to write this.
Well, I started out in marketing, but I moved into executive coaching about 10 years ago. So I see a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And there are the underperformers, and then there were the super performers. The super performers would show up on time, and they'd have the check there, wouldn't have to call them for the money, and they had done the work that I had given them to think about or make. And then the underperformers, would come late or have excuses. And so I started to see there was like a difference. And then I realized, oh, you know what it is? One is fabulous, and the other one's not so fabulous.
So now were the underperformers coming to you voluntarily? It wasn't part of a corporate scheme?
No, they would come to me.
Up.
They had been downsized. They had they'd been out of work. They had been blocked in terms of progressing in their career. Mm-hmm. They were going back to work. They were mothers that had decided to re-enter the workforce. But they weren't on their game yet.
Huh.
They didn't have all the pieces together.
Okay.
And if you will, if I may use the metaphor, they would lay their cards on the table, but they weren't playing a winning hand. If you want to play a winning hand, you have to have every card has to be a winner.
Okay. So
and that's why there are 11 chapters in this book.
So did you coach people back into the job market? Was that part of it? You did? Okay.
Yeah. But I also got them to teach them how to present themselves.
Okay.
Because in a virtual world,
yes,
you can't just expect an email to break through. Right. You have everything about it: your voicemail, your emails, your text messages, getting in front of someone, following it up with a personal, note. All that just aggregates, and you begin to see a person in their flesh.
Right, right. And so, does it take time? Does it take money to make these changes?
It doesn't take money.
No.
I don't think there's one thing that I mentioned in the book that costs any money.
Okay.
It's all about your heart and your soul and your passion and your purpose.
Yes.
People do not live very passionate lives. They're not excited by things.
No.
I get so excited. If you're around somebody that's constantly negative.
Yes. That's also contagious.
Very contagious.
Yes, that's awful. I
very
hate that.
Contagious.
Yes. So now, are you coaching people right now? Is that
occasionally?
Yes.
Occasionally. I'm having more fun in this next mountain. I always say I have to climb a lot of mountains.
Okay.
Everybody should be climbing at least 2-3 mountains in their life.
I agree with that. I do. I love that idea.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm on my next mountain, which
Okay.
is my next book.
Okay.
And I'm also turning my website into a much more come into my life.
Okay.
Get to know me better.
Okay. Now, I get your blogs, and you can follow Ellen's blog, and you will get a daily prompt to be fabulous, which I
Not
think...
a daily, weekly.
Oh, weekly. I beg your pardon.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was more often. But what I love about them is they're not too long, they're not too short, but they have a complete thought in them that you can take through the day and apply to the day. That's what I find most of the time.
Well, here's my prompt. When I open up the cabinet in the morning to get out my drinking mug, I have a Post-it note that says, optimism is in short supply.
Oh, I mean,
That's
true,
my
isn't
prompt.
it? Yeah.
That every day I've got to think about the fact people are not optimistic. And when I write, I have to make sure that they can take one thing away, that they can, that day, use it.
Okay.
And it will somehow enhance their life.
That's what happened. I actually told Leslie about when I got this, I opened it up and it was early in the morning and I just flicked sort of to the back and I read something that made me feel, oh, it just gave me a lift. And what I find is if I keep it in the morning, I mean, this just sounds like a complete PR blurb, but it's, if I keep it with me...
I love log rolling.
Well...
Keep it up.
But what actually happened was, inside, my favorite quote is an Eskimo, one of them is an Eskimo phrase, you whose day it is, make it beautiful. But this made me change it to you whose day it is, make it fabulous. Because you do have, very often you have a choice. Sometimes you don't, and that's a different...
Of course.
A different thing. But if you do, I think that we need reminders because motivation is like bathing and it needs to be done every day. And so I keep this with me to remind me that that's what I want to do.
Well, it's funny because I consider being first of all, no one is born fabulous.
Okay, that's good to know.
No one is born
No one is born fabulous.
Nobody comes out of
So even you weren't born fabulous.
No, totally not fabulous. Are you kidding? I'll show you pictures. I was not fabulous. And one day I made up my mind after meeting someone was, ooh, I like the way she handled that. And I started to copy different parts of people's behavior. Style, elegance, warmth, anything that I found, I would make it part of mine.
Yes.
And when I say people aren't born fabulous, this is a discipline. Mm-hmm. This is like almost a religion.
Okay.
Do you want to be fabulous? And I'll tell you why it matters.
Mm-hmm. Why does it matter?
It matters a lot.
Tell us why.
I'll tell you why. Thank you for keep asking me the questions. No, the reason it matters is because the opportunities are very limited in this recession.
Yes, right.
The opportunities are limited even if you want to stay at home, but you want to take a leadership position. There are a lot of people that want that leadership position.
Right.
Why don't you get it? You get it if you're the fabulous one. If people talk about you in a way that's so exciting,
yes.
I want to meet that person.
Yeah.
If after meeting you, I will go back and tell 10 people about meeting you. And those 10 people will absolutely. So that's some PR blurb I'm doing for you. They will tell 10 people. And suddenly your world is going to be broadened by maybe 20 or 30 or 40 more people. We need to create reputations.
These days especially you need that.
But also every time. We must have an impeccable reputation.
Yes. To me it's about having fun because there's so much tedium in every day. You know, there's laundry and there's dogs and cats that sick up and that kind of thing. And
you don't like laundry?
But there are so many things that can stop you having a good time that...
Well, I think it's your head.
Yes.
See, I think if your head is filled with drivel of how... Not your head. My head.
It could
filled
be my
with
head.
drivel of, oh, God, I have to do a white load, I have to do... What if your head was filled with...
Fabulous things.
You know what? Didn't take me that long to get
But that's
to that.
that's what this does for me. It's like a physical reminder.
Yes.
To focus. Now, so does this connect with people's personal brands? Does someone have to understand? We hear a lot about personal branding, you know, who the person is these days, and you have to understand that. is it connected?
Well, everybody has brand.
Yeah.
They may not articulate the word brand.
No.
But brand is either an image or a reputation or a persona about them that is very self-evident. You know what their brand is. I wouldn't necessarily go and say to someone, you've got a really bad brand, but you would know that they have a bad brand. Either they're disrespectful to somebody who's serving them.
Right.
They walk past the guy that, got their car instead of saying good morning.
Lack of gratitude.
Little things. I'm not talking about the big things.
No.
It's all these little things that you see people in action and you go, they're very rude.
Yes.
Or that was very disrespectful. And then you see someone who says hello and is warm and is engaging. Go, wow, that guy's fabulous.
Yeah.
Bingo.
So this is a checklist, in fact. These chapters are a checklist.
This is your hand. This is your winning hand.
Right.
These are the 10 essential cards you need to play. The reason there's the 11th chapter is you need your board of directors in order to do the other 10.
Yes. I love that because it made me feel better, because I'm horrible for giving unsolicited advice. People don't ask me and I tell people my opinion all the time.
Isn't that wonderful?
Well, you made it wonderful. In the back of this chapter, you said that that's a great thing to do. And I thought, oh, well, maybe it is.
It is a great thing to do. No one gives each other honest feedback.
Right.
Someone just
We do.
does something stupid and we keep our mouth shut and give some Millie Math euphemism because we're afraid to tell them the truth. But when you tell them the truth, they have the opportunity to improve.
Yes, yes.
But you also should always say, would it be appropriate or would it be all right if I shared something with you?
I mean, you can't just remember that.
Yeah. Maybe you have to keep that little, parentheses.
Yeah.
Would it be okay if I shared something?
Yes. Okay.
And if the person says, I would prefer not, then that's it. They don't want to hear bad feedback.
Fair enough. Okay, that makes sense. So then, if someone's watching who either is looking for work or if it's a writer who's looking to understand their personal brand, how would they go about that?
Well, I would, it's complicated. I mean, somebody who's coming to me with a very, very rich kind of dossier, I need to know why they're in this pickle and they can't get themselves out of it. And mostly it's because they haven't gone to their network.
Okay.
You see, if they had a fabulous brand, they would also have that fabulous board of directors they would call and say, meet with me.
This. Yeah.
I need to figure out who I can call and who you might be able to introduce me to. That's why you need Chapter 11. This is a very tough world we're in.
Yeah.
Our kids need to get into programs, and our husband, may have had an adverse thing at work. Who do we call? We don't call anybody.
No.
We suffer.
We on our own.
We cry. How about just picking up the phone and saying, hey, you're the smartest person I know. I need to spend 5 minutes with you and get some of your brain power.
So reach out and ask someone their opinion.
Pick out one. Always have 5 or 6 great people on your board.
Okay.
Those people don't have to know each other. But like I have Pam, who is my marketing guru, Tony, who suggested the Post-it notes. Then I have Susie, and I have this one and that one, and they don't know each other.
No. And has this taken you a while to put these people together?
I've always had a board.
You have?
Because I don't think I'm smart in every way.
No, of course. Well, no one is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know my limitations.
Yes.
So they fill the gap.
Right.
And I've never been afraid to ask for help.
Right. Right.
Where so many people are ashamed to say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Right.
I think it's great when someone goes, I forgot your name.
Well, we all do it, so...
Yeah, but we're afraid. Why are we afraid?
Yes.
We're afraid that people will think we're not sufficient or outstanding. Yes. But if you, when you're talking to yourself, keep reminding yourself of how great you are, then who cares what other people think?
Yes, if you can sit with that knowledge, or even if that seems like a stretch, just sit with the idea of it as a possibility in the first instance. So to create your brand, you could reach out to people who know you and say, if you had to describe me in 3 words, what would they be?
Exactly.
That would be a start.
Perfect.
Yes.
If you had to give me a recommendation to a potential boss,
yes,
what would you say about me?
Yes.
Perfect.
Right.
3 words.
Okay, and then...
what would you like people to say about you?
Are you asking me? Oh. Yes. I don't know. Useful, kind, not any fatter than she was last year. That would be good. Those 3 things.
Okay.
That would make me happy.
What about passionate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think if you're a reader, then I think most readers I know are naturally passionate people anyway. They're not every minute. Curious, but also when you have that moment when you say, I love this book. I mean, when a book just falls inside you and you love it. Like, I love what you've done here. I mean,
Thank you.
And I really feel like people won't even realize, you would look at the cover. What I did was I looked at the cover and I didn't understand what would be inside. But inside is this book, you were telling me earlier, has been sold in art galleries because the illustrations are fantastic.
She's a very beautiful, well-known illustrator.
But when I opened the book, I just went, oh, wow. I mean, really fabulous. And maybe it won't strike somebody else the right way, but to me, the word is exactly right in this instance. So going back to passion, when something strikes you like that, it's natural, it's organic. So I don't really think too much about that, But so what would be 3 words people would say about you?
Original.
Mm-hmm. You smell great. She smells delicious.
Thank you. I smell great. Passionate. Outgoing.
Yes, and useful, I would think. Right? Because this is something that it's a checklist that can be followed, whether you're looking to expand your network or not, just to enhance your life in general. I don't think you could read this book and not find that you were in a better place than before.
This is a book for people who are constantly flying and don't want to land. A lot of people have landed. They've parked their jet, they turned off the engines, they're done.
Ooh.
And then there are people that are always looking to fly, always going somewhere, always have a destination in mind. Those are the people that don't want to land.
Right.
So if you want to keep flying, and you want to keep moving, and you want to keep taking on new challenges and opportunities and new people, then this is the right book for you, because this is going to give you a little bit of a map on how you can find those things within yourself.
Yeah.
Not buy them.
No, they're
You couldn't buy any of these qualities.
Yeah.
They're all kind of emotional competencies that I turned into qualities of how to be fabulous.
Right.
But they're basic emotional competencies.
Okay. And when you were writing, the actual writing of the book, was it simple for you? Did you just sit down at 8 o'clock every morning? How did that work? Getting the pages done?
No, not simple.
Not simple.
I'm not linear.
No.
I can write all day, and then I'll back myself into a total corner. So I hired an editor out of Boston who took all of this rough work and said, okay, this is what you're writing about. You're writing about how to be fabulous.
Okay.
I went, huh?
Oh, really?
She said,
oh,
yeah. Don't you realize how many times you use that word?
Yes.
And I had no idea.
Okay.
She helped me organize it.
Okay.
And then I had to sit and plunk in the words. So I wouldn't say it was easy.
So you hired a professional editor who was working with you developmentally, as opposed to line editing, smoothing things out.
She did at the end.
She did both.
She didn't. But right now I just needed the structure.
Yes,
I needed the skeleton.
Okay.
I didn't have before you put up a house.
You just had a load of content.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a lot of content, but I didn't have organized.
Okay.
So she organized it for me, told me what probably my chapters were going to be, and then I could take the chapter and then just fill in the information.
Oh, I see. So that was very helpful.
Very helpful.
And what happened then? Once the manuscript was done, what did you do next?
After the manuscript was done, it was checked out by 3 different professional proofreaders. I wasn't content with one.
No, you wanted it to be perfect. Yes. Wow.
Well, I'm not going to call it fabulous.
Times. No, it has to be fabulous.
You know what? That was the dry. Using that word fabulous put a lot of pressure on me.
Yes, yeah.
Because
perfect,
now
almost.
It had to be all in.
Right, but it's not perfect, is it? Fabulous is not the same as perfect. So
No,
if I'm trying to be fabulous, I don't have to be perfect.
No,
at the same time.
I'm totally
Good.
imperfect. I just told you I'm not linear.
Yeah.
I'm like a mess. But I had to have it right. So I did have 3 proofreaders.
Okay.
And then it was the book editor started giving me different concepts. And
So
we
did you-
decided to go very high end.
Right.
Very high end. Because the quality of the book had to match the title of the book.
Concept, right. Okay. And did you go out to agents or did you approach publishers directly? How did that work?
I hired a team that were very adept at that. They had about 25 desk side meetings. And because of what's going on with ebooks, which, by the way, I do terrific on ebooks.
Did you?
People hear about the book and bang, they
Bang.
just get it,
Yes,
right?
instant gratification.
But I'm a book.
Me too.
I have to hold
Yeah,
the book.
yeah.
So they all looked at it and said, we could never, at this moment, publish a book of this quality. We just don't have that kind of money.
So you were saying before that the paper is a better quality than a traditional...
Finest quality.
Finest
Same
quality.
paper that they use for the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Wow.
Same
Wow,
paper.
this really is
The covers are all
art.
handmade papers.
I love this. Look. Who's that?
It's actually my husband.
Is it really?
Well, I took him into a booth.
I like his bow tie.
Remember those photo booths?
Yes. And did that?
And I said, go in there and keep changing your ties. And then I sent that to the illustrator.
Okay, the caption under this is, try to resist a smile. And that is, I've read that there have been studies done that show that when you smile, your brain can't help but feel better, even if you're faking it. Which, you know, if you just do that, your brain goes, oh, I must feel better.
Smiles are very accessible.
Yes, yes.
They bring you in.
Yes.
That's another thing. You know, I read that book, Bowling Alone, years
I
ago.
don't know that. Mm.
And it was all about how we're so isolated. Our families are far away. We live behind big fences. We live in apartment buildings. And so we end up bowling alone. This is saying,
Yes, yes.
don't bowl alone.
No, it's saying,
reach out.
Yes, let's be friends.
Say to someone, I love that
Yes.
green jacket. It picks up your gorgeous eyes. All of a sudden, we're connecting now.
Yes, yes.
Connect.
Yes.
And you'll feel
in
better.
an authentic way, so that it's, yes, yeah. So tell me about your, where are you online in terms of, you know, are you on Facebook, are you on Twitter, your blog? How do people follow you? How do they get there? I feel like I need a daily dose of fabulous, so.
Well, thank you. On Facebook, I'm Ellen Lubin Sherman. I guess my business page is, I guess it says public figure. There's nothing on my personal page because I don't use that.
Okay.
I blog once a week.
You blog once a week. What, on a particular day?
Usually Wednesday comes out on Thursday.
Okay.
And then almost every day I have a photographer who works for the Star section at the New York Times take a photograph of me.
And does that make you feel fabulous? I think it would.
It doesn't really make me feel fabulous. I'm always trying to create a kind of mood to give you information. It's not really about, hey, look at me, but look at me, I'm 59 and I'm
You look
out there.
fabulous.
I'm out there.
Yes, right.
You could do it.
Yes.
Don't let your age have anything to do with your attitude.
Okay, boomer women. That's us, right?
Boomer.
Yes.
We're just
Let us blossom.
We're just retreating, as you put it. We're retrenching.
No, we don't want to do that
No,
contracting
we
thing.
should be invading the Balkans. We should strap on our armor every day and go out there and just slam.
Yes.
And people don't get that. Only people that are really comfortable in their skin have the courage to be themselves.
Well, you also want to see someone, you know, it takes a certain style to put on a necklace. You know, I was a little tentative about putting on my big pearls because but I thought I have to try and be fabulous. But you've got this, yes.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I do it for me.
Yes.
I spend the whole day in my office. No one looks at me.
Do you wear that in your office?
Of course.
Do you really?
I get dressed every single day, even if I'm working from home.
Do you really?
With shoes.
Oh, me in my office is not a good sight. I'm very
No,
impressed.
but I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
I have to get into my zone. I have to be writing as if I'm dressed
As
for
if
battle.
you're fabulous. Right, right.
So I'm in my zone. I never, ever.
For battle in the sense that every day can wear you down? Or what's the battle?
Well, the reason I get dressed is, let's say I go out for coffee and I see somebody that I've been meaning to talk to.
Yes, you can't.
I already know I look fabulous, so I don't have to say, oh, I better not say anything because I didn't wash my hair today.
Right.
People come up with all these excuses. But what if they look great?
Yes. That is true.
And they saw someone went, hey, I've got to call you. I've got a great idea. I think we should work together on something. Because you've got that thrust, you've got that, you've got something behind you.
Right, you're prepared.
And instead of saying, exactly,
yes.
Oh my God, I'm going to avoid her. I'm going to step into this aisle. I'm going to run away. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do this.
Yes.
I would be much more proactive.
I've had people do that to me, and when I'm out,
run away from you.
Well, hide behind. Yeah, perhaps it wasn't because they didn't look good. I don't know, but when I go out and I'm looking terrible, I feel sorry for the other person, because if I'm really dreary and dowdy, then I feel I'm not looking at myself at that point in time. But they are, so that's, less enlivening for them.
Well, that's fascinating. I see. I'm not really caring about what they're thinking.
Right.
I'm only worried about how can I maximize my day.
Yes.
And generate
a
kind of joie de vivre.
Yes.
And excitement, so that people are magnetized to me.
Yes.
So I want people to be magnetized to me so that I can get to know them. Right. Because I'm always on the lookout for fabulous people.
Yes.
I don't have enough fabulous people in my life. I need more.
So what is the purpose of the photographs?
The photographs were, I get a lot of feedback, compliments on the fact that I dress in sort of a kooky way, especially because I am going to be 60 in July. And because typically women my age don't dress this kind of cuckoo. So I decided,
I think of it as stylish, not cuckoo. I think of it as...
Well, that's today. Today is stylish. Trust me, I go for cuckoo. Huh. So I said, you know what? Let me start to take pictures of myself and make the captions funny.
Oh.
Make the captions funny.
Yes.
So the pictures are sometimes funny. Sometimes I'm dressed like a boy, in like short pants and a tie and a little newsboy cap. Or sometimes I'm dressed like a librarian.
With all the colorful things. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on the mood I'm in. And what I'm trying to say is you create the moment.
Yes. So with your clothing, with what you choose and
exactly.
what the
it's all
statement
part of
that
your
you make.
brand.
Right. Right. Okay. So you have a blog that people can sign up for. You're tweeting. You're on Facebook. The book is The Essentials of Fabulous, and you're writing something new, which if we sign up for your blog, we'll find out what that is. And that's about all we have time for today. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. Have a good week.